Oh hey, how's it going? Welcome to Paleo OMG Kitchen again. Thanks for watching my first video, and we're gonna have a fun little one. It's a little bit more complicated than last time. We're gonna have a sun-dried tomato pasta, a pesto type pasta with chicken. We're gonna do it with zucchini squash as our noodles, and then have some asparagus done in there. So I've already stirred the chicken so we can spend a little less time on it. All I did was just chop up regular chicken. I threw some olive oil in the pan and threw the chicken in there. I haven't even put any seasonings on it. So I'll do that kind of last minute. You can throw a little salt in there if you want. So with the pesto, that's what you kind of want to get first. I use a bag of just sun-dried tomatoes. I put them in a batch of water just to soften up because they're super hard, and if you're going to throw them in the food processor, you need them a little bit softer, else shit's going to go crazy and it's not going to food process whatsoever. If you've worked with dates, it's kind of like that, pain in the ass. So I'll add about a cup of sun-dried tomatoes, about 3/4 of a cup of walnuts, and then a ton of olive oil. So I just have a big thing of olive oil that I'll start pouring in, and it usually measures out to 1 to 1.5 cups of olive oil. So make sure you keep a lot on hand. So I use a Cuisinart food processor. I get a lot of questions about that. I use a 9-cup food processor. There's like a 13-cup and other cups, but this is a pretty big size and you can get a lot done with it. So it's great. And all I did was add in the sun-dried tomatoes, the walnuts, started processing that. And then I added in my olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, about probably a juice of 1 lemon, and then a little bit of salt. So once I'll add that up, turn that on, it will become a little paste type thickness. So you can see in there, it still has a little bit of drip to it. That's going to soften up even more when the olive oil comes out once we make a little bit of a pasta with it. So I'll leave that in there and kind of tend to my noodles. So this chicken's still cooking down, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to cook zucchini. So here is fettuccine type noodles. All I did was cut up different slices. So if I cut my zucchini into quarters, then I'll just make even thinner slices. So I'll slice one down the middle, then I'm going to get pretty thin slice, and I can slice that one more time even as well, and that's going to give me a pretty thin noodle. So I'll do that a bunch with these. I'll slice this one up, finish slicing. Okay, so once those are all done and sliced up, I also have a different way of doing it is with a julienne slicer. So not everyone has a julienne slicer. That's my real name, no big deal. I was destined to be with food, obviously. So with a julienne slicer, you can do things a little bit quicker and easier. But if you don't have it at home, it's no big deal. I was pretty stoked when I got one, just to make things that look like noodles, and so you can act like it is. That's what we're doing with paleo. We're faking things and making it seem like we're eating naughty things on a regular basis, just like pasta. So here's a julienne slicer. I don't really know how to use it that much, so we'll just play around with it. But I'll just cut the ends off my zucchini. Look at this beautiful zucchini. So all you have to do is slice down the middle, and it gives you these gorgeous little zucchini threads. So you can do that with your whole zucchini. So I can just go through these and break those up as well. So now my pasta will have 2 different kinds. So I'm going to heat up another another skillet. Get that under some medium heat. Olive oil is going to go on in. And this is where I'm going to cook my noodles. So we'll heat this up. Since my chicken's about done, I'm going to add some salt to it. Salt makes everything better, period. Then I have some basil. So with any kind of Italian type dish that I'm making, I'll usually add every kind of Italian seasoning I can think of. So I'll have tarragon, I have basil, and I have thyme as well. You can I'm all out of garlic cloves, and so I just have some garlic powder that I'll add in, but you can definitely add in a garlic clove, and that's what I'll recommend everybody to do, because garlic makes everything better. So with the zucchini thing, it's totally how far down you want to get. Oh, hey, Sarah Ryan. Welcome to Paleo OMG Kitchen. Hi. Welcome. So I have my zucchini going now. It's gonna start cooking out, and it's kind of like pasta. I'll just do the exact same thing of tossing it in the olive oil. Just start giving it flavor. That sort of thing. And chicken is almost done. So my zucchini, once it starts to cook down enough, I'm going to add the pesto to it and then the chicken to it. The chicken I just do separately because I want to let the zucchini cook a little bit longer, and then I'm going to also add some asparagus in here. So I'll just break up my asparagus. You want to get rid of the ends because they're pretty tough. Some people eat them, but I think it tastes like poop. So I'll get rid of that and keep letting these cook down, and we'll be back in a second. Hello. Okay, so now I've had the zucchini noodles cooking for a little bit. I added in the asparagus as well. So asparagus spears are in there, so it's just a huge jumble of green. So I'm going to add the sun-dried tomato pesto directly into that. My chicken finished cooking, so I just took it off the stove, set it off to the side, off the heat, because then I'll add that back in. I just don't want to overcook it and have tough chicken. So I'm just going to add this pesto directly into there, and then add some seasonings as well, because more seasonings is always better, period. Fact. So I'll just use some tongs to toss this in, because it'll take it a little while. Since it has walnuts, it's a little bit thicker, so we want to break that down. And the noodles have rendered some juices and some excess water, and so that will help break down the pesto as well. So I have this all stirred in. The spaghetti squash and, I'm sorry, the zucchini noodles and asparagus are starting to mix, and I'm going to let that cook down a little bit. So that can just keep on cooking. I'm going to add the chicken directly into that once that starts kind of giving up some juices. Now I can add some seasonings to the pesto. So we already have some lemon juice in the pesto, some garlic, some excess salt, and then a little bit of olive oil. So I'm just going to add salt because I told you I add salt to everything, and I think it's fantastic. There's some basil leaves in that pesto, but I'll add a little bit more basil. And so popular, no big deal. Now we have a little bit of thyme. You can add parsley if you wanted to as well. I think I have parsley, but I couldn't find it in there. So we'll mix that up. And you can see the olive oil kind of starts to separate. So it's a little bit thicker in the middle, and then the olive oil is starting to separate with the excess water from the asparagus and zucchini. So we'll just mix that together, start getting the olive oil to kind of combine a little bit more. We want the asparagus to cook down completely because it, depending on how you like your asparagus, if you like it a little bit more crunchy, then you don't have to cook it quite as long. I like my asparagus to be soft, so I'll cook it a little bit longer. And then I'm going to add that chicken. So I'll add my chicken directly in there because I'm just going to toss that in the pesto as well. And then once I have this all together, I can just cover, and that will help cook the asparagus a little bit quicker and steam the chicken. So if I have any pieces of chicken that were kind of questionable, and we don't want to make ourselves sick while we're cooking at home, that will steam that chicken a little bit more and help it cook through completely. So I'm going to cover this, and I don't really even have a lid that covers completely. I use the lid of my crock pot because we have no lids here. I'm not sure if pans come with lids, and I don't really get that, but they should. So I'll use this lid that halfway fits on there. We're close to covered. And you know what time I think it is? It's time for a dance session. Everybody go. Everybody go. pretty much done. To test out, you can test your, you could bite into your asparagus to test it out, fork with it, whatever you want to do, see if it's totally cooked to your preference. I covered it and let it cook for probably like 3 to 5 minutes, not that long. And then we're just going to place it in a nice little bowl. If you like stuff looking pretty, this is a great one because it has all the reds and greens together. So it's pretty beautiful. And you have, for you zoners out there, you have your protein, your fat, and your carbohydrate in this meal. I am good to you all. So, anyways, so we have our presentation of this beautiful little thing. I'm going to have some leftover chopped sun-dried tomatoes that I'll top on top of it because it's absolutely delicious with extra ones. So, thanks for tuning in today. You guys are awesome. Paleo MG shirts, the black tanks that I had on in the dance video. You should buy one. Thanks for watching today. Bye!